Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday. It is the 9th day of August 2022. Summer's going by fast. I hope that you are healthy and safe today, and that you and your family are not only healthy and safe, but the needs of you and your family in terms of food and shelter and clothing as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field and those who are the first responders that try every day to save lives. Blessings upon those that pick up garbage off streets and sidewalks to keep parks and highways and cities, towns clean. Blessings upon those that make deliveries of food and other things that we take for granted for our convenience. Blessings upon those, double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and the children that are the unfortunate victims of child molestation and pedophilia. And also the victims of pornography and child pornography, the victims of prostitution and child prostitution, the victims of sex slavery and human trafficking, and double curses on the perpetrators, those perverts and those profiteers that are out here trafficking in human misery. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. There are nearly 600,000 men, women, and children on the streets of the United States of America without a home, and millions around the earth in similar or worse conditions, and blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom. And if you can help, please do. So today, a couple things. First of all, just real quick, I just want to let y'all know, man, whatever's going on with any other team that doesn't affect the Knicks, honestly, I don't care. I mean, it was big news yesterday, Kevin Durant telling the managing partner of the Nets that he wanted Nate Nash out and blah, 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 and all of this. I just want one thing, though, with regard to that. The next time, you hear people crying to get Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant or any player without actually looking at their history in terms of mental makeup, injury history. Like there was a bunch of people begging for Malcolm Brogdon. And Cat ain't played 50 games and I don't even know when. Okay? And the same group of knuckleheads asking for injury-prone players or troubled players when they come on your team. We got to get rid of them. They're cancer. So the next time somebody comes available, make sure y'all check out, really what it means. This is more than, again, this ain't NBA 2K. This is the league. You got to see how they fit with your team in terms of the chemistry, the mental makeup, in terms of the power and juice they have, in terms of their injury history. Like, you could not pay me to take Anthony Davis. You could not. Is he a superstar talent? Absolutely. Is he available? No. You understand? Yet, if that name was to come up, people would start tripping. No. And then, it's amazing. I read an article about how the title of the article indicated that the Knicks have, leverage in this Donovan Mitchell thing, right? And it's the same dude that I think it was about a month ago was saying the Knicks were desperate. One of those two was saying how desperate the Knicks were to get this deal done and how, they should just give them RJ Barrett and everything else they want for, and so now the narrative is changing. Have you noticed that? But even in the article, I almost wanted to wipe my behind with it because in the article, right, they talk about how Donovan Mitchell couldn't get it done in Utah with Rudy Gobert there, And, if he couldn't get it done with Rudy Gobert, there's nobody on the Knicks like Rudy Gobert. See, this is the thing, brethren. And that was a total backhand to Mitchell Robinson. I'm not saying Mitchell Robinson is Rudy Gobert. He hasn't won the Defensive Player of the Year and all that. But look, and again, this comes back to the same thing we were talking about before. Mitchell Robinson has never had a point guard. Now you're giving him a point guard and the starting position and a guaranteed contract. That's real contract, not no rookie minimum, vet men that he's been working on for 4 years. This is a real contract. He's starting. He's got a real point guard. All right, now, I want to see, and I predict from Mitchell Robinson, like I said, all NBA defense this year. Possible all-star, possible defensive player of the year considerations because of just having a real point guard. And then if they get, I'm talking about Brunson, but if they get a Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell made Gobert better. See, yes, Gobert is a defensive anchor, and you need that. But Gobert wouldn't have been Gobert if Donovan Mitchell wasn't there. Okay? You need more than one dude on a team for the team to be successful. And in Utah, they had Mitchell and they had Gobert, and they had a whole bunch of ancillary pieces that fit together. Put it that way. They had a whole bunch of ancillary pieces that fit together. Bogdanovich, Royce O'Neal. They had some, you bring in the Conley. They had people that fit together, the different pieces. But you needed a third dude. Didn't have to be a top flight superstar, but you need a third dude. Okay, not have to be a big three. I hate to use that term, but you need a third guy that you can count on. That's going to be, if they don't pay attention to him, he's going to kill you. And that's the difference. If the Knicks do not get Donovan Mitchell, okay, with Jalen Brunson, with Mitchell Robinson, with RJ Barrett, and let's not even deal with like whether we have, even if it is Julius Randle or Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley. Look, we're going to be more than all right, because let me tell you something. Let's talk about Emmanuel Quickley and Obi Toppin for a minute. They're going into their third season. I'm going to tell you, no matter if you think Emmanuel Quickley is a starting point guard or not, there's one thing that cannot be disputed. He can score on anybody. Okay, he has already shown that. And this is going to be his third season. And he can score. You can bring him off the bench. You can start him. He may not see the floor as well as you'd like as a point guard, but don't tell me that boy can't score on you, because he can on anybody. Okay, we already know he's a 90% foul shooter. Okay, and I believe his defense has improved over the first 2 seasons, and I'm expecting another leap on that side of the basketball this year. So people sleeping on him though. And then Obi, all of us in Knicks Nation that know Obi, what we saw at the end of last year wasn't surprising to us when he scored 35 and 42. We weren't surprised by that because we knew that all Obi needed was minutes. And that's still the case. That's all he needs. His game will expand. You will see more jump shooting. You will see more rebounding. His game is going to expand because he has the talent. And this is my point. Because Tom Thibodeau keeps most of the young players under wraps, most of the people outside of New York don't know nothing about him. And even in New York, the casual fan, that might wear a hat or a shirt and come to a game, but they really not following the day-to-day of the Knicks or following the players or the personnel or anything. They don't even know what we have. But we got players, like I said, even if we don't get Donovan Mitchell, the Knicks are a playoff team. I don't want to hear it. The Knicks are a playoff team. Okay. I'm not saying they're going to be top, 5-4 in the East like they were a couple years ago, but I could see anything from 6 to 8. I could see, or 10. I could see that. There's no problem. 6 to 10, let's call it. They could get in there. Okay. Without Donovan Mitchell. But you added Donovan Mitchell and you go another level. You could complain about, and there's always going to be a nitpicker. The defense is not, listen, man, you got a dog. Donovan Mitchell's a dog. Let's just forget all that. He's 6'1" and we might have defensive issues. The dude can ball. The dude is 25. Going to be 26 in September. And he could ball. Period. Forget all that other nuanced crap. Can he take us to a chip? No, but you ain't winning one this year anyway. And if you go on it by that angle, that's probably part of the problem. Many of y'all think every year the Knicks supposed to win a championship. We're in year 3 of the rebuild. Year 3. We're going to take steps forward. Tom Thibodeau did hold us back last year. And if he don't learn his lesson, I believe World Wide West is in the front office with the axe. So I think Tom ain't that stupid. He's stubborn, and he did go to stupid last year. And in spite of that, we still won 37 games. And I think overall was 11th in defense, which is crazy considering we didn't play anything near the defense that Tom Thibodeau teams play. And then again, I just want to be positive on the Tom for this point that y'all need to understand. In all his career, in which is 10 years of head coach in the NBA, toughest game in the world, he's only had 2 seasons under 500. That was the second one last year. And he's never had back-to-back seasons under 500, ever. So, he has his problem, no doubt. But he wants to win. Okay? And he is examining everything that happened this past season. I am sure he has had conversations with World Wide West and the Don, and I'm sure he should learn his lesson. So, with the weapons that we had, you add Donovan Mitchell to those weapons. And I'm telling y'all, we're going to be in pretty good shape. We're going to be in the playoff team. The question is who we going to go against. Can we knock off some teams? That's what it's going to be. It's not about can we make the playoff. The Knicks going to be in it. Okay. You get Donovan Mitchell. Now, this thing that bothered me, man. Again, I'm listening to I was listening to this other content creator, and they had this dude from Boston on their thing, right? Dude from Boston go like this. This is what he said. Danny could walk away from the deal. I almost spit out my coffee, man. Danny could just walk away. He doesn't need this deal. And he was trying his best to not say the Knicks were desperate, but he was pushing that. And I thought to myself, man, the Knicks hate is real, y'all. It's real. And then even the dude on the podcast for the Knicks, he pushed back. He said, I got to push back a little bit. And that dude don't push back on nobody, but you got to push back a little bit on that. Look here, man. There is no team in the NBA that has the assets to get this done like the Knicks. The Don has already said, here's your deal, bruh. Go find you a better one. And homie is trying his best to save face because he's used to fleecing people. This is the Ripper. He's used to not just win. See, that's what somebody said, well, he's not the devil. Yes, he is. He's the basketball devil. He not only wants to beat you, he wants to destroy you. Okay, it's all good though. But you gotta know who your enemy is, who you dealing with. That's just the Ripper right here. And the Don knows exactly who he's dealing with. And so he said, go find you a better deal, knowing that the dude can't. Which is why the Lakers are involved. And I told y'all this yesterday. That's why they're involved, because it will help facilitate a deal and everybody will get what they want at the end. Is it going to hurt a little bit to lose an Emmanuel Quickly or the Quentin Grimes? Yes. But if we only have to give up, let's go over this now. If Danny Ainge walks away from the deal with 6 first rounders, but only 2 of the unprotected came from us and 2 protected came from us, dude, if we end up only giving up 2 unprotected picks and 2 protected picks, and we end up with Donovan Mitchell, and all we had to lose was either my man Quentin Grimes, which I don't want to lose, or Emmanuel Quickly, because I'm not minding as much as that, because I'm a deuce dude, but Quickly's still good. This still our dude. We still drafted him. It'd be hard. But are you telling me that we lose Evan Fournier, let's call it Emmanuel Quickly, right? And then Los Angeles gets Randall and Cam, right? And then maybe, Derrick Rose. You telling me we're going to be left with Obi Toppin, Mitch Robb, RJ Barrett, DM, and Brunson. That's our starting 5. And we have on the bench now. Now, some of y'all that's not in Knicks Nation don't understand what I'm about to say, but y'all in Knicks Nation know. We're going to have on the bench Grimes, Hartenstein, Jericho Sims, Deuce McBride. And you got a problem with that? Come on now. And let me tell you, they will add 2 more pieces. In that scenario, I'm about 80% confident one Carmelo Anthony would be coming off the bench behind Obi Toppin. Now, Carmelo is not the Carmelo we had in New York before, but let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you something that some of y'all may not like. Carmelo is just as good a shooter as Evan Fournier. He's just as good a spot-up shooter right now as Evan Fournier is in his prime. Carmelo don't have the low post game he once had. He doesn't dunk like he used to. Okay, he don't have the athleticism he used to have. He's not a 35 minute a game player. He can't get you 62 right now. But don't mess around with him coming off the bench if you just want him to be a spot-up shooter. Now, I would rather Pascal because he's younger, but I ain't gonna front. Don't mess with Carmelo coming off the bench behind Obi. Don't do it. I'm telling y'all. And then you go and get another wing, because I keep mentioning Josh Jackson. I don't know what Josh Jackson like in his head. Of course, y'all did see DeJounte Murray show his behind, against Paolo Banchero. You saw him show his behind out here acting like the fool against a rook, right? Y'all wanted him on the Knicks. I mean, he's been talented, but again, you got to go by what's up here. You don't want nobody messing with your locker room, okay? It's very important for you to go forward that you don't have somebody messing with your locker room. So, I'm telling you, we got the cards in our hands. There's nobody on the landscape that could give Danny Ainge what we could give. He trying his best, but he ain't getting it. And to be honest with you, I don't think that Don offered 4 of our unprotected. I don't think he did. That's why the Lakers are getting involved. And everybody's talking about this. And I think y'all can agree. The Lakers might be reluctant to give up the 27 and 29 picks. LeBron ain't. And that's probably an internal situation with LeBron and Pelinka and Jeannie Buss. But that's their business. Because they went and got LeBron at age whatever, 35, 36, whatever they brought him on at. What you think? LeBron gonna go for, you think he cares about your future? He's trying to win now. Okay? You don't get a LeBron James at this stage and say, well, we're trying to make sure we hold for the future. He don't care about that. He don't. So that's their business. Our business. The Knicks business is we can get Donovan Mitchell and still move forward, or not and still move forward. But do not sleep. I think it's going to happen. I do think it's going to happen because the Don will walk away, and Ainge knows that. And in spite of what that Boston knucklehead was talking about, Ainge can walk away. No, he can't. He does not want to go into camp with Donovan Mitchell on his roster at $30 million. The whole point of a rebuild is to clear your roster of big money salaries. He don't want the circus. I believe he's the Ripper because he's smart. He ain't stupid. He's hard-nosed, smart dude. Yeah. Okay. So, he's not going to turn down 6 picks, for Donovan Mitchell. I don't give a crap what nobody talking. Okay. And so between the Lakers and the Knicks, I think together they can pool together the 6 picks this knucklehead looking for, and whatever, and then we move on with life. Okay, but right now we're in a real good driver's seat right now. So don't sleep on. But people sleeping on Obi, they sleeping on IQ, Deuce, they sleeping on. Now everybody all of a sudden Grimes is getting, Grimes is becoming like Grimes is like the second coming Devin Booker. Now I love Grimes, and I think he's more like Allen Houston 2.0. He's not Devin Booker. Okay? He's not. But I think Grimes could get you, a good 15, 18 a game as a full-time starter. So everybody's all in Grimes, but sleeping on RJ, sleeping on our players, man. It's all good though. We know in Knicks Nation, don't we? What we know, we don't care what they know, but they're gonna find out. And if they don't know, when it's too late, you know what they gotta do, right? They better ask somebody. You have a good Tuesday. Shalom.